of 11 cricketers that Sri Lanka produced joining the ICC Hall of Fame. We have the floor open to any of you gentlemen out there and ladies. If you have questions to ask of Mahela, please send them over. The chips are will pass it out. But firstly, Mahela, SSC, what was it like coming out of Nalanda, out of the dressing room? You had played at Bloomfield before, but what was SSC like?
First of all, just want to thank each and everyone who's here. SSC is like a second home to me. Been here for almost 20 years, 25 years, and to the committee, president, secretary, and to the entire expo, thank you very much. This is humbling and overwhelming gratitude. I've always felt that I owe SSC rather than the other way around, because like you said, when I walked out of Nalanda, which was the two establishments who actually gave me everything in cricket. Nalanda saw those pictures, brings back very good memories with my friends. And then the second place was SSC. I still remember the first time I walked in, I was in Bloomfield. I played one under-23 season, and then I had few issues there, and then I moved to SSC. Arjuna is not here. Arjuna is the one who actually called my father and said that, we would like Mahela to come and play for SSC. And so I walked in here, and I still remember I came a bit early for practices, walked into the dressing room, and I fondly want to remember Nimal, who is not with us at the moment, but he was an amazing character in that dressing room. And so I dragged my bag and tried to put it away. He came and asked me, "Who are you?" So I said, "So and so." I was asked to come to practices. Then he said, "You can't keep the bag there. That's where Mom sits." So then I moved it away a few steps and tried to put it there. I said, "You can't keep there. That's where Asanta Gurusingha sits." So on and so forth, from Mode Vikramasinghe, Hemanta Vikramaratne. I realized I walked into an amazing dressing room. And there was a room at the back, so I thought I'll put my bag there and go for practice. He said, "Don't you dare go in there, that's where Arjuna Ranthamba stays." So that's my humble beginnings at SSC. I had a corner which there was a dustbin there, so I moved that dustbin, put my bag, put a chair, and that's been my spot for 20 years. And I think one of the younger guys now are sitting in that place, but that's where I sat, and it's definitely fond memories.
You spoke about walking into that dressing room, a dressing room of legends, and while I was having a chat to some of your contemporaries back there, actually some of them junior to you, they were talking about how Arjuna welcomed you, sometimes also scolded you, and there are some young kids out there with fancy hairstyles. What would it have been like that if one of them had walked into a dressing room with Arjuna?
Well, I think that's the difference between generations. I think I don't want to compare anyone to what, but I think different generations brings different attitudes, different cultures, and I think we need to respect each and every generation for that, because that creates wonderful camaraderies in the dressing room and friendships. Definitely everyone who's played with Arjuna knows who Arjuna is, and it's brilliant to walk into the dressing room. Still remember my first class game. They said that the only place I can bat was to open the batting. So my first class game, I was an opener with Jayawardena, and we played Bloomfield. First game, it was crazy match.
This is the club we had left.
This is the club we had left, and Roshan Mahanama was captain. Sanat Jayasuriya. They had a tremendous group of players. Kumar Dharmasen, Kalpage, all those guys. And we had a big rivalry between Bloomfield and SSC at that time. And I still remember it was a grass top. We had a very fiery pace attack with no one, so it's Pramod, Vikram Singh, Suresh Perra, and we put them in. The ball was doing a lot. I remember Bloomfield bowled out for 160. One of the things was I was feeling a short leg. I remember Roshanai asked me to tie his shoelaces. I mean, he's from my school, so I was like awed by him. I was like, tie my shoelaces. Arjun said, ask him to tie his own shoelaces. You mind your own business. So that was the kind of cricket that we played at club level, first class cricket. So going quickly back into that game, I learned an amazing lesson where they were all out for 160. Gunda and I went to bat. It was a very good pace attack that they had. We managed to survive for a session. I got a 60. Gunda was not out on 50. 5 overs to go. I still remember because that was my first dismissal at the club. Got caught behind off the bowling of Ruan Kalpage. And I thought, 20-year-old walking in, first game, 60, they scored 160, we were 120 for 1. I nicely walked in, smiling, going up the stairs on the other side. I see typical Arjun Ranthanga with his towel, came out and scolded me, which I cannot use some of the words obviously. I literally was in tears. I sat down on the bottom of the staircase and then I just literally stayed because I was so scared to go back into the dressing room. And the match finished, the opposition was walking past me and I'm still down there. And I remember there were a few remarks from Sanat and Roshanai and all of them. And then I remember Marvin used to, bring me up and say, come, let's go in. And I walked in. And that was a good lesson. And we said, it's nothing finished. You're supposed to be not out at the end. You just threw it away. So those are good lessons that you learn playing in a dressing room like that. All those are fond memories as well as good lessons for me. And that's what I said, playing for SSC was the best thing happened to me in that dressing room with that group of players. I grew very fast as a cricketer. I've learned a lot, and that helped me to step up the next level.
Sirina spoke about you being a role model to him growing up. How about you? Any role models while at Nalanda, at SSC, or even thereafter at international level?
I think I was a cricket buff when I was young, purely because of my father. He loved cricket, so he used to bring all these articles. He used to listen to radio because at that time there was not much television, and we always spoke cricket. So I've known about. There got to be this video about 10 years old, grades of the game at that time. So from Don Bradman to Freddie Truman to Gavaskar, then at that time Barry Richards, a little bit of Griffith, Walcott.
So you would have been how old?
I was 12. So that's why I remember these names and all that because I watched the Bodyline series because my father was a technical director at Rupavani. He used to get these videos and stuff like that, so he used to bring. So I still have that tape of the Bodyline series, and then the other one of all these grades. So there was Larwood and all that, the stories. So I grew up in a household like that. So the history of cricket is very important for us to understand why we are playing cricket. And especially the Sri Lankan history is way more important for us to understand who had walked wearing that cap, the badge, and the hardships that they've gone through for us to be able to play Test cricket and for everyone else to be who they are later on. So without knowing the history, there's no point. So I think for me, each and every one who I grew up watching or listening was a role model for me at that time. But I think Sangha would agree with me. I think we both always say that the best batsman that we've ever come across was Aravind at that time, and we were like awed-wary. And the first time I met him in the Sri Lanka dressing room was unbelievable. Brings back unbelievable memories, and I was speechless. But he just, and the knowledge that he had about the game and all that. So, I mean, we all grew up watching different cricketers, but if I would pick one guy, it would be Aravind, just for his batting, the way he went about scoring runs, and the 96 World Cup 100 was a masterclass, and learned quite a bit. So, I think if I want to pick just one guy, it would probably be Aravind.